a video, well, not a video, a live stream. As a matter of fact, I don't usually record normal videos individually anymore. However, we will be bringing that back very soon, hopefully for the match day vlog against Ajax. Now, if that person in the background would shut up, that would be very nice, wouldn't it? But no. So just before everything starts, I didn't go to the Liverpool game. I was away on holiday. That's why I didn't make that. I didn't make any announcement just because I wanted to go there and enjoy myself really, without having to make any videos and that. So that's where I went. And yeah, so we're back today to talk about Manchester City taking on the famous Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, Man City lost their last two games, I believe. I think it was Wolverhampton Wanderers, where they lost like 3-2 or 2-1. Or and obviously the Man City Arsenal game where Arsenal won that 1-0. I think that's actually at the Emirates too. So yeah, fair play to Arsenal and Wolves for beating Manchester City, just to start off with. I can't see us getting lucky here against Manchester City because Man City, they're not a team who like to go on losing streaks. Pep Guardiola will have a plan against the Albion and he will probably bag a 3 points, which is not what we want. We want a win. We want a draw, whatever we can get. Whatever we can get at the game. If it's a draw, it's a big draw. If it's a win, it's a massive win. And that's what we've got to go into this thinking. The mentality is really we just got to defend well because attackively I don't think we stand much of a chance against Manchester City on Saturday. I'm not going to be watching that game because I'm going to be at Fort Park, so I'm looking forward to that. But no, Manchester City will hopefully sort of play how they did when we played them last time, where it was a 1-1 draw down at the Amex. It was a good game. I think Julio Enciso's goal was absolutely incredible that game, by the way. If we can get another one of those, absolutely brilliant. But no, as I was saying, defending has to be on point. And even if we can, just get up the field, create the chances, play like it was any other team. Because when we played against Liverpool, up front, confident. Midfield pretty confident. João Pedro is one player I want to talk about now. I'm not too keen on seeing him play. If he's going to start tomorrow, then good luck to him. But I'm not really looking forward to it because in the last few games he's missed 2 sitters. One of them he skied over the bar against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, which is the Carabao Cup. We don't really care about that. But another one was actually in the last game played against Liverpool, and it is unbelievable. How is he not scoring these? I thought he was, we were all talking about this guy scoring loads and loads of goals for Albion. He doesn't, and that's what it is. I know he scores a lot of penalties, but at the minute that's what it seems like the only goal he can score, which is a bit of a shame because I don't want Brighton being known as, a team that can only score penalties, right? I mean, that's what Spurs were last season, winning penalty after penalty. And yeah, and you know what? That takes me back to that game, doesn't it? Where we got absolutely robbed there. I don't think they had a penalty, but we should have. But it makes me think. And Erling Haaland, last time we played at the Etihad, there was a goal scored. Both goals I wasn't very happy with. The first one of their players kicked our player in their box, and I mean in our box, but they got a penalty for it. Unbelievable. And Erling Haaland chucked Adam Webster to the ground. Again, unbelievable. And these are things which players shouldn't be getting away with, but they do. And it's got to stop here. So if the same thing happens on Saturday, I mean, just it's unbelievable. It's favouritism at the end of the day, isn't it? And that's what happened last time. But I mean, I'm expecting a good clash. I'm expecting the Albion to be up for it because we've got to be, really, haven't we? On our day, we can be absolutely brilliant. We can beat anyone on our day. But when we're playing against Manchester City, it's going to be so hard. Not only the pressure to play, but it's not easy to go to the Etihad. I know, okay, we can't really talk about the Etihad being an electric atmosphere, but what we can say is it's quite an intimidating place to go. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I am looking forward to it, but I'm also quite nervous at the matchup. Now, going into the sort of players I'm looking forward to see playing for the Albion. So I'm excited to see, obviously, Evan Ferguson play against Manchester City. Because Evan Ferguson, I mean, he sort of proved himself now. He's a good striker, but he can have a bad day, and we have also seen that, right? And on his bad day, you know what to expect, which hopefully won't happen. I mean, an example of a bad day for Ferguson when we lost 6-1 to Aston Villa, that's the whole team's fault. Another one would probably be against Everton, 5-1 defeat, and a few others as well in there, like yeah, I just don't see him really. I don't know. I'm just hoping that he'll get in behind the ball a few more times and actually create good chances and actually take away his chances, because he is a brilliant striker when he wants to be, and he's got to bring that into this game, right? He's got to be up for it. He's got to try, because Ederson, he's a great goalkeeper, right? But I don't think he's anywhere near the sort of class Liverpool's Alisson is. He's had to face with a lot more shots, where Ederson has to rely a lot on his defence, because Manchester City's defence is probably the best in Europe, if not the world. So I don't see us scoring more than once against Manchester City. Now, going into it, we haven't kept a clean sheet in flipping ages. 12 games now in the Premier League, 12 games in a row. So, going into this game, it's going to be 13 games without a clean sheet. Okay, because we already know Manchester City are going to score. And my score prediction is going to be, and there's going to be a whole backup reason for it. I'm going to go 3-1 to Manchester City again, because Manchester City's confidence will be, well, right at the top there. They will be wanting to win it today, Saturday, because obviously they've lost their last two. They've got to step up from that. So 3-1 Manchester City. I'm going to go goal scorer Erling Haaland. You're going to get a double, and chuck in one for Silva. I reckon he'll get a goal too. 3-0 there. And then our goal scorer, I want to give it to, I don't know, who is the least likely to score? I don't know, the least likely is who I want to put on it, because it's a confident booster at the end of the day. Who would I like to see become more confident at the Albion? Because, and you know what? Ansu Fati scored a great goal. Not a great goal, but a tap in against Aston Villa. I'd like to see him do well again. He could get a goal. I'm not going to give it to him. You know what? I'm going to give it to Donkey. I want him to score for corner. We've got to get better at corners, because recently set pieces have not been good, and we've been struggling a lot from set pieces. I'm going to give him the goal there. So yeah, my final prediction is 3-1 Manchester City. Really, I can't really back the Albion for this one. It's a really hard one to back us on, and given Manchester City's form against us, they don't often lose to us. And you know what? Out of all the games I've watched us play Manchester City, we've only won once. That was the 3-2, where we, to be fair, came back from 2-0 down. That's when Dan Burn obviously scored for the Albion. But we don't have him anymore. We don't have half the players there anymore. So it would have been a lot better as well if we had Pervis Estepinian back. But with Clancy playing left back, I think personally he's quite a flexible player. He's a really good player. So nice to see him back. 2 consecutive losses for City in a row. I think we will get something 2-2. Yeah, I like the confidence, man. I do like the confidence. But what we've got to remember is Manchester City don't like to go on losing streaks, and they would like to get, the Premier League title again. So to do that, they're going to have to be winning games. And unfortunately, with the defence we have, I think it's going to have to be one of their games, really. So because we conceded a goal in each of the last 12 consecutive Premier League games, which is painful for me, because and every other Albion fan, really. Every game we go into, we expect to concede a goal, even if it's against bottom of the Premier League. We expect to let in that goal, and I mean, as you're saying, 2-2. We've got a strong attack. I'll give you that. We do have a strong attack, but it all really depends on who he plays up front and who he's got playing centre back, and especially the goalkeeper wise. Will it be Steele in goal? Will it be Verbruggen in goal? I'd play Donkey and Webster at the back against City, as Webster was quite solid at the back at Liverpool. Yeah, Adam Webster, obviously he had that mistake against West Ham, which a lot of people, quite horrible to him about that. But what we've got to remember is Adam Webster is the guy who stopped us from letting in multiple goals against Crystal Palace. And he's also been quite solid for us overall in his career at the Albion. If he's going into the Manchester City game, I think he's going to be the same. I think he'll be pretty solid at the back. It just depends on who De Zerbi's playing alongside Duncan Webster. Is he going to be playing Lamptey at left back? Is Milner going to be playing right back? What's going on there? I'd expect to see Joel Veltman playing over Milner at right back, because recently we've seen Milner playing quite flexible in them sort of positions. Usually he's a midfielder, but he's been pulled back as a right back. So these weird things from Roberto De Zerbi. Is he going to keep the team the same as the Liverpool game? I sort of hope not, in a way. João Pedro, like I say, he hasn't been performing quite that well. I mean, he's been scoring penalties, and that's literally it, really. He's a serious player, I get that. He's very decent at passing. He's got a good dribble on him, but the one thing I think he lacks at the minute is his finishing. Other than penalties, But at the end of the day, we got to give him a chance. If he's going to perform against Manchester City, then we're all going to be saying we love João Pedro. We got to see him start more often. But then if we don't start him, then he's never going to get the chance to prove. So whatever happens, I'll agree on De Zerbi, whatever he puts out for that position. It all comes down to the fact we play better against the top team and not as well against the bottom teams. So there's no telling what way it'll go. Yeah, I get that. But again, Manchester City are incredible. The Premier League giants, probably best team in the world. But I guess one way you could put it, if Wolves can beat Manchester City, Brighton can beat Manchester City. I think we're fully certain of that. And we've got to remember as well, Arsenal, okay, they can beat Manchester City, we can beat Arsenal. So, yeah, exactly. There is no telling which way it will go. But personally, I'm still going to give it to Manchester City. It's just, I think it'll be too big of a game for us. But you know what? In the return fixture, so when we're at home against Manchester City, maybe I'll back us, because hopefully we'll have a decent atmosphere at the Amex. Because recently, you know what, it has been lacking at the Amex, especially on the first games of the season where it was only really North End singing, if only that. So I just hope the atmosphere at the Amex is going to be better as well, because it's only the away days we seem to be the louder team, and it's kind of sad that other results don't always have a telling on what result it will be. Just on a day who's the better team. Yeah, it's a nerve-wracking game though, and you know what? Whoever's travelling up there, good luck, and up the Albion, onwards and upwards for the Albion. Hopefully we get that result. Hopefully I'll be proved wrong. It's not often I'm up here saying 3-1 to any club against Brighton, but you'll be up there, Harry. It's a long trip up to Manchester, but listen, if you win, if you draw, whatever we get, just take it. If it's a defeat, then hopefully it's not a bad defeat. That's all we can take from that, really. But I expect a performance, like I say, even though I'm saying 3-1 Manchester City, which is a bit over the top on a prediction, some would say, because sometimes this fixture has ended only 1-0 to Manchester City, even a draw sometimes. I mean, let's be honest, Brighton love a good old draw, especially against big sides like Liverpool. But Manchester City are another level, and hopefully Pep doesn't quite work us out. Obviously, RDZ, Roberto De Zerbi, the Italian manager, hopefully he's got a plan of his own what could outsmart Manchester City, because I think it's somewhere in there. Hopefully we'll get that win eventually against them. I mean, just like we did in lockdown, we got that win against them, and I was just over the moon. So was every Albion fan. But I think, long story short, Albion have got to go there. We've got to perform. I think we will perform, and hopefully the defence will not be as sloppy as usual. It's the gaps I'm talking about. They push up too far. Players are in behind. Easy goals, right? And Bart Verbruggen, I'm not really keen on him yet. I haven't really seen too much, though, so I can't really judge on him too much. But he did, obviously, he was at error in that game against Bournemouth. I think it was Bournemouth where he played the ball to them. So that happened, unfortunately, and it's something I hope never happens again for the Albion. But that's what we get sometimes for playing out the back too slowly. But no, hopefully we go into Manchester City holding our heads high and play some beautiful football, because that's what we're good at. Anyway, so that basically brings me to the end of the stream today. People, I will be back with Matchday Vlogs, don't worry. Remember, for Liverpool, I wasn't there. I was on holiday, so it's nothing to do with not wanting to make a Matchday Vlog. It's just a fact, I was on holiday. Guys, see you guys soon. Saturday, I won't be able to make my watch along, unfortunately, as I am at Thorpe Park. But people, I really do appreciate everyone for joining us today. You can watch the stream on replay in a little bit when it's finally released. But I'm going to read this last comment from Harry. So many players on international duty as well. Good to see Gilmour score against Spain, and Donkey playing for England, and Fatty for Spain, and Gross for Germany as well. Gilmour's goal against France, I think he got lucky in a way. Obviously, Camavinga played it to him, but it's nice to see how composed the finish was, and I guess it will lift him up with his confidence. Hopefully he can do some of that for Brighton. I know he is a phenomenal player, and I hope to see him in the lineup, because he's one player without a doubt who will be playing quite well against Manchester City. He's got a good ball on him, good at dribbling. He's good at everything, basically. He can even defend. So hopefully see a bit of him. And I wouldn't mind, actually, if it's not Webster starting, Jan-Paul Van Hecker. I'm hoping maybe he can lift his confidence up, because obviously against AK Athens he weren't that great. I think he's played once after that. I'm not too sure. But I think we'll leave it there, guys. Yeah, I appreciate everyone joining us today. See you on the next one, which will probably be the preview or the post-match for Manchester City, or the preview to Ajax, who we will be doing a matchday vlog on. People, appreciate you coming in. See you guys next time. Goodbye.